Welcome back. It is day 2 of Banned Book Week 2019. I am super excited for this series. It has been great so far. Thank you for sticking around for episode 2. There will be 5 more to come after this. So we're just going to jump right in. We are talking about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone this week, and today in particular we are talking about chapters 4 and 5. So let's get right into it. My drink of choice today in the Banned Book mug is just hot coffee. It is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm filming this, and I am not really all there right now, so I need something to perk me up. I'm just not having it today. I'm not feeling super well, but I will do my best to make this video awesome. So chapters 4 and 5 are really when we, the reader, and Harry really start figuring out what's going on with the wizards and what Hogwarts is and sort of what's going on and the truth behind Harry's past and the fact that he is indeed a wizard and is going to enroll in Hogwarts. He goes shopping for supplies, and we learn about all the different things that he's going to need for his studies at Hogwarts. And we also get the first mentions of Quidditch and the houses, specifically Hufflepuff and Slytherin, I believe, are the only 2 mentions so far. If anyone's curious, I believe I'm a Ravenclaw. I don't know. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. This is the only second time I have read this book. I've never read any other Harry Potter book, and the first time I read this was 10 years ago, and I think I've mentioned that in every Banned Book Week related video for this year so far. But we hear what Quidditch is. We aren't given like the in-depth rules yet, but I believe we will get to that later in the book. And Quidditch, for some reason, reminds me of Whack-Bat from Fantastic Mr. Fox.
There's 3 grabbers, 3 taggers, 5 twig runners, and the player at Whack-Bat. The center tagger lights a pine cone, chucks it over the basket, and the Whack-Batter tries to hit the cedar stick off the cross rock. Then the twig runners dash back and forth until the pine cone burns out and the umpire calls hot box. Finally, at the end, you count up however many score downs it adds up to and divide that by 9.
Got it.
I don't really know why. It's just because it's like a funny, like unique, weird, unnecessarily complicated sport, and so that was what that made me think of. And if you have not seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, what are you doing with your life? So the main thing that I wanted to talk about with this episode is the mentions of magic, and specifically the dark arts. So Harry meets Professor Quirrell, and he asks him what he teaches, and the class that he teaches is called Defense Against the Dark Arts. And that really sparked my want to talk about sort of dark arts and witchcraftian things, because that is the main issue that people have with this book when it comes to people wanting to ban it and not show it to their children. I was raised in a Christian fundamentalist school. If you're a returning viewer, you probably know that. Seeps its way into a lot of the work that I do. And while I wasn't restricted in terms of like what I read Harry Potter, my parents would have been completely fine with me reading Harry Potter, even though I just didn't have an interest in it. I had a lot of friends who loved it, and I also had a lot of friends who their parents didn't allow them to read it or watch any of the movies or anything related to it at all because of witchcraft and magic and the dark arts factors that are allegedly in the book. I want to take a moment to remind these people that this is complete fiction. This is complete work of fiction. This is completely out of the head of Joe Rowling, and I don't really know how else to say that other than this is fiction. This isn't real. However, there are a lot of people, I'm talking specifically about Christian fundamentalists and evangelicals and people like that that I knew and grew up around when I was of the age that these were like the books to read. People like that, but I'm sure that applies in like other religions and other denominations and stuff like that. But I'm just going to talk about my own experiences mostly. If you have some like other experiences with people banning Harry Potter for witchcraft reasons, let me know down below. But I think it's important to keep in mind that this is fiction, and you need to be okay with the fact that there are some not so great things in fiction, because there aren't so great things in the real world. There are bad guys in this book, and there are bad guys in real life. I also want to mention that to some people, dark arts and dark magic is very real to them, believe it or not. Again, I'm speaking mostly about evangelicals and fundamentalists. There are differences between the two, but they often coincide with one another, so I'm just saying them together. But there are very, very fundamentalist Christians who believe in evil spirits and want to keep people away from stuff that present them with facts about them, and I don't want to intrude on anyone's beliefs or anything like that. I'm a religious person. I'm sure a lot of you watching this are religious people, and if you're not, that's fine too. But I am also very anti-censorship. Obviously, that's why I started this entire series. And again, we need to keep in mind that the witchcraft presented in Harry Potter is completely made up and completely a work of fiction, and completely of the mind of Joe Rowling, as I said. So that's really it for today. I'm sure I'll go into more in depth about, people disapproving of the dark arts later this week. Tomorrow, what are we reading tomorrow? We are reading chapter 6 and chapter 7, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we are. Chapter 6 and chapter 7 will be on Wednesday's video, so be sure to tune in for that. Let me know how your read-through of Harry Potter is going, or if you were a kid who grew up with Harry Potter and loved it, let me know some awesome Harry Potter related stories down below. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't grow up with this, because reading this now, I'd be like, this is totally, adorable. Why wasn't I a crazy fan about this when I was 8? But for whatever reason, I wasn't. And that's okay. I had other books that I really liked, but I can definitely see why this book is special to so many people. And so with that, I'm going to end it right here. If you enjoyed this, you can leave a like. Make sure you subscribe for the rest of the week's videos to end up in your subscription box. And yeah, leave a comment below about your Harry Potter banned book experiences downstairs. I would love to read those. And yeah, I will talk to you tomorrow. Specs, hugs, rock and roll. Love you.